Okay, welcome members of council, staff, and the general public. Welcome to our Monday, January 18th public meeting. So I will open the public meeting. If I can have somebody approve the agenda. Is there any additions to the agenda, Mrs. Haley? No additions to the agenda. Thank you. I believe it was moved by Councillor McDonnell and second by Councillor Lang. All in favor of the motion? Motion's carried. Thank you. Any declaration of pecuniary interest? Not seeing none, we'll move right into the presentation and delegations. Benjamin zoning amendment, Mrs. Haley.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So welcome everyone. Thank you for attending our meeting this evening. For members of the public that are participating by Zoom or by phone, you will be permitted to speak to the respective application following my presentation. Prior to speaking, please state your name and address for the record. To make a comment, please use the raise hand function and the chair will call on you. If you have registered to participate in the meeting by phone, you will be asked if you would like to comment on the application after the presentation. So I will read required wording under the Ontario Planning Act now. So this is a hearing under Section 34 of the Ontario Planning Act. Any person may attend this hearing and or make written or verbal representation either in support of or in opposition to the proposed zoning amendment. If a person or public body does not make oral or written submissions at this hearing before the zoning amendment is decided upon, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of the Council of the Township of South Glengarry to the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal, also known as LPAT. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at this hearing or make written submissions to the Township of South Glengarry before the zoning amendment is decided upon, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the LPAT unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to do so. So we have one zoning amendment.
Mrs. Haley, before we move forward, your microphone is very scratchy, so I'm not sure why that is, but all the council's hearing it that way.
Okay, sorry. I wonder if it's my internet connection.
If you turn your video off, Miss Haley, it might improve the quality of your connection.
Sure. I can do that. Just a moment, please. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Not helping any.
Okay. So the amendment this evening is known as the Benjamin Zoning Amendment. We're located at part of Lot 24, Concession 9, in the geographic township of Lancaster, now in South Glengarry. Is it getting better, Mr. Mayor?
No, it's not, unfortunately.
Okay. One moment, please. I'll just make sure. Okay. Can you see the map that's in front of you?
Yes, we can.
So this is a location of the subject property, and you can see the area that's outlined in black is the area that we're speaking of this evening. So the applicant, property owner, recently applied for a severance to dispose of the surplus dwelling to the farming operation. The severance was conditionally approved with several conditions, one being the requirement to rezone the retained land, to reduce the minimum lot area, and to prohibit residential construction. This is a map showing the proposed severance. So the area in pink is where the dwelling is, and that's what's surplus to the farming operation. And the area in blue is known as the farmland. So the purpose of the amendment is to rezone the subject property from agriculture and natural hazard to agriculture exception 28 and natural hazard to reduce the minimum lot area from 20 hectares to 13.35 hectares and to prohibit residential construction. The subject property is vacant and is currently being farmed. If the amendment is approved, no residential construction will be permitted and the land should continue to be farmed. The subject property is currently designated agricultural resource in the county official plan, and it does conform to the general intent of the official plan and the provincial policy statement. To date, I've received no written comments from the public. I did receive one phone call from an adjacent property owner just trying to understand the purpose of the application and why they're required to go through this process. But the property owner had no concerns with the application. And this application will be subject to a decision of council. And it's intended to bring a staff report to council at our February 1st, 2021 council meeting. So if anybody wishes to provide comments, they need to do so by January 22nd, this coming Friday at 4 p.m. And that's it for this presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mrs. Haley. I'll open up questions from members of council if they have any. Councillor Jaworski.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Haley, I was just curious when you presented the map, and there was the blue section and the pink section, but then there was also a color, I think it was pink, the crescent on the, I guess that would have been on the east side. I was just wondering if that was pertinent to this application, or if that area being colored in was not relevant.
So when I show that map that shows the proposed severed area and the retained layer area, what I'm doing is I'm turning on a layer on our GIS, and the layer is all severances. And so why you saw pink to the east is because that property would have been subject to a severance previously. So nothing to do with this application. I just couldn't remove it because that was the layer of information that was added to the map.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from members of council? Not seeing that. I don't believe we have anybody on from the public. I'm just going to double check here to make sure nobody come on. There says 0 attendees. Okay, so nothing further from you, Mrs. Haley?
Nothing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and if there's no other questions or comments from members of council, I would ask somebody to adjourn the meeting for me, please. Councillor McDonnell and Deputy Mayor Warden. All in favor of the motion? Motion's carried. Thanks very much, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Haley. We'll see everyone at 7 p.m.